It was a gloomy evening in late autumn when I found myself inexplicably drawn to the forgotten graveyard on the outskirts of town. The air was heavy with an eerie stillness, and the distant whispers of rustling leaves added an unsettling soundtrack to my solitary journey. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the weathered tombstones that stood like silent sentinels in the fading light. As I wandered among the graves, my attention was captivated by a tombstone bearing my own name and birthdate. A shiver ran down my spine as I traced the cold, weather-worn letters etched into the stone. The surrounding atmosphere seemed to thicken with an otherworldly presence, and an ominous wind whispered through the overgrown grass, sending a chill through the air. Unable to resist the peculiar pull of the grave, I reached out to touch the cold surface. The moment my fingertips made contact, a sudden gust of wind enveloped me, swirling around like a malevolent force. In an instant, the graveyard vanished, replaced by a dystopian landscape that felt both familiar and alien. I found myself standing in a desolate cityscape, buildings reduced to rubble and the sky tainted with an ominous shade of red. The air was thick with an acrid smell, and an unsettling silence hung in the air. The only sound was the distant echo of footsteps, my own footsteps, as I navigated through the ruins of a world that had succumbed to an unknown calamity. As I continued to explore this nightmarish future, a sense of dread settled in the pit of my stomach. My steps led me to a haunting revelation, my own demise. There, amidst the ruins, I witnessed a chilling scene that mirrored the engraved details on the tombstone back in the forgotten graveyard. It was a moment frozen in time, a cruel glimpse into the fate that awaited me. Determined to break free from this grim destiny, I attempted to alter the course of events, to defy the hands of fate. Yet, every effort was met with an unyielding resistance, as if the forces beyond the grave were determined to maintain the cruel loop that bound me to this ominous future. No matter how I tried, the impending tragedy remained unchanged. Days turned into nights, and the cycle repeated relentlessly. I was trapped in a nightmarish dance with time, a prisoner of a destiny that refused to be rewritten. The more I struggled against the inevitable, the tighter the grip of the time loop became. The city, once bustling with life, now echoed with the haunting echoes of my own footsteps. I became a spectral witness to the remnants of a civilization that had crumbled into dust. The chilling wind that had initially transported me to this forsaken future whispered tales of despair, and the oppressive silence became a constant reminder of the inevitability of my demise. In my desperate attempts to escape the time loop, I uncovered fragments of a mysterious past, piecing together the puzzle of the cataclysm that had befallen the world. Yet, the answers only deepened the sense of hopelessness that clung to the air. As the cycle repeated, I grappled with the realization that some forces were beyond mortal comprehension. The graveyard, the tombstone, and the dystopian future became a tapestry woven by an unseen hand, a cosmic design that mocked the feeble struggles of a mere mortal. In the end, I stood amidst the ruins, a witness to my own demise, the bitter truth etched into the fabric of time. The chilling wind whispered its final secrets, and I surrendered to the inexorable fate that awaited me. The time loop persisted, an unyielding chain that bound me to the haunting echoes of a future that defied change. And so, I remain, a spectral figure in the dystopian wasteland, forever trapped in the chilling dance of destiny, a prisoner of a reality that transcends the boundaries of life and death. It was a moonless night when the shadows seemed to cling to the decaying walls of the abandoned mansion, casting an air of mystery over the dilapidated structure. A group of friends and I, driven by curiosity and a sense of adventure, found ourselves standing before the imposing entrance of this forgotten relic from the past. The mansion loomed before us, its dark windows staring out like vacant eyes. As we ventured deeper into the decaying interior, we stumbled upon a room frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture and tattered curtains hinted at a bygone era, and in the center of the room, we discovered an ancient board game. Its wooden surface displayed intricate carvings, and the pieces, though weathered with age, bore an unsettling aura of craftsmanship. Intrigued by the discovery, I convinced my friends to join me in playing this mysterious board game. As we settled around the table, the air seemed to thicken with anticipation, as if the mansion itself held its breath, eager to reveal its secrets. The game unfolded with an eerie narrative, a nightmarish tale that seemed to transcend the boundaries of fiction. The pieces moved with a life of their own, as if guided by unseen hands. The storyline that unraveled was chillingly accurate, predicting the fate of each player with a disconcerting precision. One by one, as the game progressed, the players faced horrifying destinies identical to the prophecies within the game. It was as if the mansion had woven a malevolent tapestry of our fates, and with each move, the threads tightened around us. The atmosphere in the room grew tense, the weight of the supernatural revelation settling upon our shoulders. The connection between the board game and the malevolent spirits within the house became increasingly apparent. The creaks and whispers that echoed through the mansion seemed to synchronize with the unfolding events of the game. It was as if the spirits, long imprisoned within the decaying walls, had found a medium to communicate their sinister designs. As the game reached its climax, a sense of foreboding filled the room. The narrative unfolded with a relentless momentum, and the realization struck us like a chilling gust of wind. The boundaries between the game and reality were blurring, and the malevolent spirits were orchestrating a maleficent symphony of doom. The mansion, once a silent witness to the passage of time, now resonated with a dark energy that permeated every corner. The board game had become a conduit, a tool through which the spirits manipulated the destinies of those who dared to unlock the secrets within its carved surface. Desperation and fear gripped us as we struggled to comprehend the malevolent forces at play. The pieces on the board moved with an inexorable inevitability, and the line between the game and our lives became increasingly indistinct. The air itself seemed to vibrate with a sinister resonance, as if the spirits reveled in the unfolding tragedy. In the end, the last piece on the board fell into place, sealing our fates in a nightmarish conclusion. The room echoed with a haunting stillness, as if the malevolent spirits had achieved their twisted victory. We were left to contemplate the chilling reality that the ancient board game had served as a portal, a gateway through which the malevolent forces within the mansion had toyed with the threads of our existence. The abandoned mansion, once a mere relic of the past, now stood as a testament to the malevolent spirits that lurked within its walls. The board game, a cursed artifact, had become a conduit for their dark machinations, forever binding our fates to the nightmarish tapestry woven within the decaying mansion's embrace. The haunting melody of the cursed music box filled the air as the clock struck midnight, echoing through the silent chambers of the ancestral home I had inherited from a long-departed relative. The ethereal notes seemed to draw me in, a siren's call that awakened an inexplicable yearning within my soul. Entranced by the haunting sounds, I followed the ghostly music through the dimly lit corridors, guided by an unseen force. The melody led me to a hidden chamber, a place veiled in the shadows of forgotten memories. As I stepped into the room, the air became heavy with the presence of something beyond the realm of the living. Before me, a spectral orchestra materialized, their ghostly figures swaying to the haunting rhythm of the unseen conductor. Transparent violin bows danced across strings, and phantom fingers caressed keys on otherworldly pianos. The haunting melodies seemed to emerge from the very fabric of the afterlife, a symphony that transcended the boundaries between this world and the next. The ghostly conductor, his form shimmering with an otherworldly glow, turned towards me with hollow eyes that held the wisdom of ages. In a voice that echoed through the ethereal chamber, he extended a skeletal hand, inviting me to join the spectral ensemble. The chill of the afterlife clung to the air as he handed me an instrument crafted from bones, a macabre creation that seemed to resonate with the eerie music that enveloped the chamber. As I took my place among the spectral musicians, the ghostly conductor signaled for the performance to continue. The moment I began to play the bone instrument, the music intensified, echoing through the corridors of the afterlife with a haunting fervor. The notes I produced were both beautiful and macabre, an unearthly melody that seemed to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. The symphony of the damned reverberated through the hidden chamber, each note resonating with the pain and longing of those who had passed beyond the veil. The ghostly musicians played with an intensity that transcended the limitations of mortal comprehension, and I became a willing participant in this spectral orchestra, bound to the haunting rhythm of the afterlife. As the music reached its zenith, the boundaries between the worlds blurred. Shadows danced on the periphery of my vision, and ghostly apparitions materialized in the corners of the chamber. The spectral conductor's eyes bore into mine, conveying a depth of knowledge that surpassed the understanding of the living. With each haunting note, I felt a connection to a realm beyond the mortal coil, a place where the echoes of the past converged with the present. The bone instrument became an extension of my very essence, a conduit through which I channeled the otherworldly music that bound me to the symphony of the damned. Time seemed to lose its meaning as I played, lost